The distinctive nature of American English is an outcome of its interesting settlement history. We see in America a unique mixture of settlers. People from all around the world, and not only Britain, came and established settlements in America. The first English-speaking permanent settlements came from the south of England. And these were not people who had moved to America because of poverty. They were already affluent people, but they were Puritans. Puritans are religious people who sought to reform the Church of England from the evil influences of Catholicism. So these people came to America, immigrated to America and established settlements because they wanted to introduce their own form of Christianity. But they were not people who were poverty stricken or who were from working class. They were upper class people. These people, they maintained strong ties with their mother country, that is Britain. So they did not sever all their ties with their country, but remained in touch with their own country. Because of these people, we see that in New England of America and the South share some prominent features of southern part of England in their language, in their use of English. Some examples include the dropping of post-vocalic R, which means that when they pronounce words which have the ra sound at the end, it is not pronounced. Whereas it is pronounced in American English. But because of the influence of British accent and British variety of English on these people, the use of English in this part of America still shows an influence of this British variety of English, the British variety of English from the south of England. So, a word like car in American English is pronounced as car in British English, and we see the same practice in New England in America. Similarly, card in American English is pronounced as card, so ra sound is dropped. Similarly, the retention of j sound in words like tune and new, whereas in American English, these words are pronounced as tune and new. But the people of New England in America, because of the influence of the earliest settlers from Britain to this part of America, have retained the influence of the British accent and British use of English. Then there were aristocratic plantations established in the southern states of Georgia and Atlanta. Immigrants in the 17th century from northern and western England and also Scotland and Ireland came and settled in this part of America. Now, these people were not as affluent as the people who had come earlier, the Puritans and those who had who had settled in New England. These were working class people. And as a result, there was a mixture of working class accents and working class variety of English and the upper class variety of English, along with other languages which were used by the other settlers from other parts of the world, especially Europe. We see that this mixture of different varieties of English and the other languages which were used in different parts of Europe, a new variety of English started to emerge. Now, in the 18th century, the settlers found land near the Appalachian Mountains. So instead of moving anywhere else, these people who were mostly Scots and Irishmen, they found this environment very similar to what they had left behind at home. So they established their settlements in this part, and they also, of course, with themselves rooted their culture and linguistic features. So we had yet another variety of English being used in America. In the 19th century, immigrants from Europe and England spread to the west of America. So now we had these settlers spread in different parts of America, and the settlers who had come from, again, different parts of the world. Along with these immigrants and settlers, there was also a transcontinental movement taking place, a movement of people taking place within the North American continent. And this transcontinental movement was prompted by the introduction of this transcontinental railway. So because of the railway, movement had become easier. So people within the North American continent kept moving from one place to the other. And this immigration and movement together led to a process of mixing and blending of accents of different people. So because of this movement and immigration, all these accents which were used by different people within America and from outside America blended into each other, and a new variety began to emerge. This dialect contact, as we've already said, that not all these people spoke different languages. Some of these people, these immigrants, spoke different varieties of English, because they had come from different parts of the British Isles. So, of course, they all spoke English, but they spoke a different dialect of English. And this contact among different dialects of English resulted in what is called coinization. Now, coinization is a process in which a new variety or dialect of a language emerges as a result of the mixing or leveling of different dialects. These dialects are these dialects which are mixed with each other. They are not mutually unintelligible. So coinization is not the same as pidginization, in which people who speak languages which are mutually unintelligible come in contact with each other and a new variety evolves. In this case, it is the people who speak mutually intelligible dialects, but still this contact situation leads to a new variety of English or a new variety of any language. So this coinization process involves continuity. It does not involve abandoning one language and taking up another language. It involves continuity. Therefore, it is widely believed that American English is fairly homogeneous because of this mixing of dialects. Over the years, the American English has become quite homogeneous, although this view is also contested by some researchers and scholars.